All right, as per usual, streams that generally don't have a game associated with them. We're gonna be playing. We're gonna be playing some music from Insane in the Rain music. Raina Tato with the 47 months of tier 1 saying 2 years into DMing and D&D Beyond has been very good to me. Lots of characters I've never gotten to play though. That's always unfortunate. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah. And just Kaizen gifting 7 tier 1 subs to Starstorm222, Tropic Sky, Segway Plays, Celestial Moon Juice, Keenaton Knight, Bex Luigi, and Footy Fanatic. Here's a big sub for your subs. Mwah. Okay. Audience from Bricks Brickman saying, remember Fireball's the most useful spell in D&D. Use it to rob a crowded shop or clear a room full of small woodland creatures. Noted. Alright. I've looked over the classes pretty well, but never hurts to start there. You got your 12 main classes, and then the Artificer, which is from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. And then there's the Critical Role class of the Blood Hunter. Just looking at stuff and see if I can get some inspiration for my campaign. If anybody has any suggestions what I should be looking at for inspiration, yada yada yada. How about races? I had an idea for a race as well. Man, I don't know how much I want to say here because I don't know how much I want to, like, spoil what I want to do. Who will play in Tom's game? Haven't decided yet. I'll probably be reaching out at some point. Blaze Girl, the 16 months of tier 1. Here is a sub for your sub. Mwah. What do you mean you're disappointed there's not a lot more races here? Look at all these! The Penny Arcade one has a race! Is there a Minotaur? I'm sure there is. Yep, there it is. In the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. Minotaur. Oh, the stream yell. This will serve as perfect background noise while I build Animal Crossing. Rogue would be good for start for a character, but depends what you're going for. No, I'm planning on being a DM.
Bingo!
Doing research on Arcanum's world before making Cokey. A little bit. But now that I know a bit more about Arcanum's world, I know where I want to go with Cokey. Always good to have anti-flying strats ready. Hero Cast Chow with the 53 months of tier 1, excuse me, saying, hoi hoi Tom and folks. So trying to think of a backstory for my Bard Rabbit Folk character. I mean, my Bard Bunny. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah. Bunny. First basic question, your campaign, city, or wilderness. All right, let me explain a little bit about the campaign I'm going for. In fact, I can pull up the map for it. There it is. As soon as it loads, I used a lot of stamp assets in this because I wanted to give a sense of scale for it, so I made everything really small. How do you pronounce Cokey? Like somebody who's hopped up on cocaine. They're a little cokey. So this is the lost continent of Nascentia. The entire continent is surrounded by by what is referred to as the Storm Wall. But inside of it, it's temperate and like there's normal weather patterns on the inside of it. What's we'll use for the map? This is a website called Incarnate, where the C in Incarnate is replaced with a K. People are like finding shapes in there. Like someone says it looks like the US. I can kind of see it a little bit. But I got a few, like, mysteries around here. For example, I don't know how to convey this in Incarnate, but, like, this entire thing right here is a, what is it called? This entire thing right here is sheer cliff, with just this island in the middle. It's a crater in the middle of this island. I don't know what I want to do with that yet, but I plan, yeah, the continent of Rorschach. That's funny. There's a sheer cliff piece. It's hard to make it go all the way around, though, is what is the problem I'm having with it. This is sort of like a jungle. It's on the bottom here. Well, they're white cliffs. They're white cliffs is why they're sheer cliffs. This island's entirely volcanoes. This island right here is so the way it works is that the water from this source in the middle here isn't flowing out, it's flowing in, and all this entire island, except for the wall around it, is below sea level. So I'm probably gonna have lore as to like why the island like never floods and like what it's connected to and whatnot. Single oasis in the desert. I need to add dunes in here, because otherwise it's just really flat. A long stretch of grassland.
Bingo!
A swamp. Evil Wob with the 75 months of tier 1. Here's a sub for your sub. Law saying, how's games? Going pretty well. I'm showing people my D&D stuff. There's like a forest right here with like a bunch of hills, and then there's like a really thick forest here with an island in the center of this and a really like massive tree there. Mainly like just hills. Old ruins in the desert. That's the thing that I was thinking. Here's the thing. With this continent, my thought process was that this entire place is untouched by civilization at all. Joshua Slowpoke with Underbits, do you already have ideas for subclasses for characters that could be available in your setting? Recently looking at Circle of Spores, Druid subclass seems to put particular emphasis on enforcing the natural life/death cycle. I have not. I have not done yet. So, like, a lot of this campaign is going to be man versus nature, but the story of it, I guess I could read an excerpt from this. I don't have a name for the rest of the world yet. I just have this one continent. Basically, giant cataclysm happens all over the world, and with you know, demons popping out of rifts. When the fight against them became unwinnable, everybody loaded up onto ships and went to brave the storm wall, hoping that the lost continent of Nescentia would be a safe haven from them. And the campaign starts with the party on a ship coming to this continent. So most of this is going to be exploring. There might be some,
Bingo!
What's that tiny island way to the southwest? That's potential for well, here's the thing. The storm wall, the lore behind the storm wall is that nobody's ever made it through the storm wall and lived. Rather, But in order to encourage hope, they say that the people who have gone into the storm wall always make it to the other side, and they find a new life in Nescentia, so they never come back. So when the people come through the storm wall, there's a good chance that their ship won't make it through. So there's a fairly good chance that they'll get shipwrecked somewhere on the mainland or on this little island down here. On top of that, because this entire continent is like completely untouched by civilization, the party is gonna be what names all of like the towns, the landmarks, everything. What's the goal for exploring? Mainly survival. There's gonna be adversaries. Like it is gonna be like man versus nature in a sense, but there's also gonna be like things like other settlements. You know, people from your own people from the ship that you came on are gonna play an active role in being like in being like antagonists to the party. How important is that little island? I have not decided yet. What's the scale of the island? So this is what I have a little bit of trouble with the scale of this. Might be a good idea to look up apex predators / food webs for each area of the continent. That'd be a good idea. I'm gonna put that in my notes. Maybe we could put a grid. There is a grid tool. Oh, that's to resize the map to create a new region. Sorry, D Payne with the 25 months of tier 1 saying, holy crap, 25 months. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah. Was to stop the demons from following the pioneers at some point in the future. So, there's, for some reason... There will be lore for all this at some point. Like I said, this is very early on. But like the storm wall is so intense that it's like it's a miracle that anything ever makes it through here. Aren't the tree people thing? Like I said, I haven't gotten that far yet. Some questions. What's the currency going to be? Probably standard D&D gold. How are magical items going to be found / made? Probably made, mostly. What tech level of the civilization? Probably medieval. What natural forces exist on the island? Bingo! I think that might be a little spoilery if I talk about that right now. Kind of geological features make up the border between desert and green areas. What causes the biome difference? That I've been trying to figure that out. So I'm not that great at like this entire thing, at creating maps and whatnot. So what my initial thoughts was that warm air comes from down here and like blows up through here. But that wouldn't really make sense as to why somewhere near like a river and on the desert would be, you know, a desert. But it blows through here and then goes up. So that keeps like this northern part of the area temperate. Pretty much like all the way down. But then these hills here block that wind currents. That's why it's a little bit more like, that's why you see a lot more conifer trees there. And then for this section, it's just a swoop of cold air coming in. The Nile's in the desert, but it's fine. Is there a desert on like the edge of the ocean? This entire continent is uninhabited by people. Rather, formally it would be, but there are people. But the people are like, there are people like converging because basically the end of the world happened. Like all people from all civilizations are just converging on this island. Kind of races are going to your probably like your standard player's handbook races. Certain parts of Africa have large dunes that go right to the ocean. Okay. But yeah, it's based on like air currents. And because of the giant mountains here, like the hot air doesn't blow up into like this cooler region, which is why it almost immediately goes from like this hot region to this cold region, which for here, it's all like, this is like a taiga region. It's all conifer trees. There you go. Volcanic ash, from the lava island. Oh, thank you all for filling in the blanks for me. Volcanic ash of the island made the jungle area very fertile. How many goblins on this island? Mountains cause the desert by stealing rain. So oh my god, you guys are filling in all these blanks for me. To like make sense of like how this actually works. And this is basically like plains. Right here. Like there's like the more like green and like temperate plains and like hills and whatnot. But this is like I'd say closer to savanna, but maybe not quite. Yeah. What's the name of this world you created? This continent is called Nascentia. Nascentia, which I think I found out was like an insurance company after I made the name. I have not come up with a name for the world as a whole yet. I'm trying to think like I was trying to think of like when I was looking this up. Yeah, like nascent or nascent was the word I came from on this one. The definition of nascent or nascent is coming into existence, beginning to display signs of future potential. Bingo! And I think I got it from a synonym for like something like equating to like a new beginning. Bingo! I don't think I said thank you to Rob for the 10 gifted tier 1 subs. To Griever's Poet, Wildst, NC Coiler, Red Leader 24680, Gamer Girl 2108 from Iowa, Kendra Evie, Rocktron LPs, Dank Shamwow, Vanilla Vaneco, and Home Run 1500. Here's a big sub for your subs. Mwah. I also got Demon Kisu, Saxman 27, and Bloodhoof with the 16, 26, and 64 months respectively. Here's a sub for your subs. Mwah. Will be the state of more monstrous races. There'll be like probably be like scattered remains of them like coming in throughout. Bingo! Just restating and reemphasizing my warning for the content creation side of D&D Beyond. It is unintuitive and technically hard to handle. In some respects, it may just break. Up to you whether you want to put up with it. I mean, we'll see. Hobo 1713 with the 18 months of Prime. You're sub for your sub. But, mwah. I'll give it a shot, though. I got big plans for this area. So, to kind of, like... like, in terms of, like, the overall board, I don't know what I'm using. Probably Roll20. I don't know. Roll20 is the only one I really know because that's what Jules used for our campaign during Coliseum. As much as this is an overall, like, exploration-heavy world, I am gonna railroad the campaign to be starting around this area. After they make it through the storm wall. No, Arcanum uses map tools. Would you like some tokens of marketplace creator? I need to create a budget for that first. What's in the middle of that lake? An island with a giant tree. What level will you start at? I'm thinking because of Arcanum's campaign, probably 3. Since that's all I know. And I don't want to start them at level 1. They would have history. I'll probably build the world's history around what people end up making for their characters and backstories. Also, there is one big anomaly right here in the fact that this is coming from a very cold taiga climate, but this here is a very hot tropical climate, even though it's so far up north and really close to this area here. So this is going to be means for like a sort of like a geological mystery as well. Do you want to try and do some homebrew? Oh yeah, definitely. Could be ocean currents, volcanic region? Maybe. But that doesn't explain why at least in the way I have it sort of explained, cold air is coming through here and swooping in like this. Why would this be, why would this still be tropical if cold air was coming into that? Here's a good starting level because in 5e it's where subclasses and the classes start to feel unique. Yep. Can anyone join this world or is it friends only? So because I'm sort of like DMing this, it's like I'm limiting it to like 4 or 5 players on when I start off. Because it's D&D, after all. Do you know who you're gonna ask for players? Not yet. I'm probably gonna like throw stuff out there. Four players is a good starting point. Yeah, I was thinking like 4 or 5. I don't think I've ever started a campaign lower than 3. Okay, so 3 is a good starting point then. 3 to 5 players is the norm. One thing I'd love to get into is like the deal with this forest, because this is probably gonna be like the first like major area that the party takes on. So when you do start DMing a campaign, do you plan to stream it from this channel? Yes. I would like to do that. Yeah, this area right here is like very hilly, very foresty. Some flat areas, but like I kind of use like for this area, I kind of used my my hometown in Connecticut as inspiration. Since like if you look out over a high area, you just see like these rolling hills like filled with trees. My favorite D&D character I've played. Cokey is up there. I played in my friend Kyle's campaign. I played, was that, I think it was Kyle's campaign. Yeah, it was Ravenloft, because we were playing Ravenloft, and I think it was the DM for that one. Yeah, because that was the campaign where Rob was Dixon. And he, was that the, Rob, are you still here? Was that the campaign where he had the brewery, that made cider that only women liked? Because women couldn't get enough of Dixon's cider? Planning on keeping the distinction between devils and demons in this world? If so, what's the relationship morals have with the devils and tieflings? If not, how are tieflings viewed? But yeah, no, the character I played in that campaign was a fighter that I basically just based on All Might. Actually, well, I based him less on I based him on Arthur from Fire Emblem Fates. Very All Might-esque, but very unlucky. I do plan on having a distinction between devils and demons. But, how that plays into it, I haven't quite, figured it out yet. Yeah, such heroism! I don't think Rob is still here. Actually, hold on. Let me go to the monster manual, because that'd probably be a good starting place to see like what exactly would be occupying this island. Like the Demogorgon. The Demogorgon would definitely be occupying this island. Beholders. No, yep, Tiamat. The Tarask. Let's see. Are Fae considered celestial? I imagine like some Fae would be around here. Oh no, there's a different category for Fae right there. Some Fae, definitely plants, definitely beasts. So Fae, plants, beasts, dragons probably, and elementals. Undead might be introduced. Humanoids are being introduced, just based on the fact that people are coming here to the island. Giants might be introduced. Even fiends might be introduced. And goblins, that falls under humanoid. Aberrations might make their way there, but in terms of like the naturally occurring creatures on this island, it's probably gonna come down to beasts, dragons, elementals, fae, and plants. Maybe some oozes as well. How many? Hold on a second. How many oozes are there where they could have their own their own subgenre? That's quite a lot. Nothing like the gelatinous cube. It has 1 intelligence, 1 charisma, which puts it at -5 on both of those. Doesn't have any wisdom. Doesn't have any dexterity. Yet it's still one of the scariest creatures in all of Dungeons and Dragons. But undead from former adventurers that landed there? Maybe. What is the highest challenge rating ooze? The Elder Oblex. It is a very intelligent ooze. By experimenting on slimes, jellies, and puddings that infest the depths of the Underdark, Mind Flayers created a special breed of ooze, the Oblex, a slime capable of assaulting the minds of other creatures. Great! Psychic jellies! What about ones that are completely unaligned? Huge gray ooze. Oh, wow! Check this out! Huge gray ooze, twice as charismatic as a gelatinous cube. The white maw is chaotic neutral. In the laboratories inside the Doom Vault, the Red Wizards experimented with the process to create sentient oozes. The creature they call the White Maw. Sorry, I had to check on the dog. Is one of their early achievements, a gray ooze of enormous size that has intelligence and can communicate. These talents are considerably diminished by the fact that the creature is utterly insane. Ooze nature. White Maw does not require sleep. Are there any good oozes? Nope, they're all either unaligned or evil or chaotic. Time to homebrew up a little pudding companion. What do we got for plants? Putty. An awakened shrub. Animated tree is the hardest thing. And the grandfather oak, and the treant, and the turlong. Her backstories and alignments are just suggested. It's true. That is very true. Constructs always fascinated me. Working off with 100 bits saying, could the ooze companion be called Pudding Pop to make some skeletons happy? I don't think so. I think that's too in close combination with Bill Cosby. The Warforged Colossus. Yeah, okay. I'm just writing the thing that I said down about what would be occupying the island. Maybe some monstrosities as well. I'm just trying to consider what would be naturally occurring on the island, or I'm sorry, on the continent, versus like what would be introduced later. Let me see what falls under monstrosity, if it kind of fits into what I'm doing. Abominable Yeti, okay. Wow, there are a lot of monstrosities. Basilisk, griffins, okay, so monstrosities are basically like mythological creatures, so yeah. Oh, the Demogorgon, of course. Description, a predator of the Upside Down. The Demogorgon hunts the dimension looking for unfortunate creatures that find their way there. Size and shape of an adult humanoid, the Demogorgon mouth encompasses its face and unfolds like a blossoming flower. Naturally occurring pizza, or NOP for short. What will prevent aquatic creatures from swimming under the storm wall? The currents. The currents that the storm wall creates. There is going to be an explanation for the storm wall, but for now, on its surface level, it is a giant ring of a storm that surrounds the continent. That extends like way up high into the sky and deep below the ocean where the currents are very restless. Right now, I haven't thought too much into these kind of things right now. Much inspiration was drawn from Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey, which is more or less what you're talking about. Not at all. I basically, like, when I was creating this, I was just like... Part of it was out of laziness, because I didn't want to have to make a buttload of towns and whatnot. I'm gonna have to do that anyway at some point. But I didn't want to have to make a buttload of towns off the bat. But I think having a brand new continent to explore is a very unique setting for Dungeons and Dragons. I played Persona, but I never played Shin Megami Tensei. Great thing to do is to build up some world aspect space in the abilities. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Once I sort of have a basic idea of what I want to do with where the party's gonna go and whatnot. And even then, you only play Persona 5 Royal. Correct. Once the party kind of gives me an idea of where I want to go, that's gonna kind of shape the lore of the world outside of Nescentia. I'm planning on DMing a game. Which is why I've made this as it is. Any thoughts on your players? None yet. Probably just gonna reach out to people. I don't want to, like... Here's the thing. I don't want to, like, make any promises of, like, who I want to be in the game. Because of the chance that they won't be able to do it. And I don't want people being, like, hyped up about the possibility of, like, oh, man, you name drop this specific person, so they're definitely gonna play, and, like, put pressure on them. Don't want to do that. I wanna reach out to people privately, see what they want to do, and if they do, then that's great. If they don't, then they don't. Any ideas where you'd want to play your players to start? So what's gonna happen is, they are going to start, in terms of the continent, they're gonna start around this area. in terms of like the actual start to the campaign, it's going to be on the boat that's fleeing the demonic cataclysm. I also wanted to put it on a river just because it would make making a I'm thinking of like in terms of civilization, it would make making a settlement a lot easier. Is the map just America? Well, now that I think about it, not really. Kind of looks like it. Florida kind of drifted a little ways away. Unless, like, you're talking about, like, the swamp area, because then, like, America's penis turned into America's reproductive vagina. It's like in the Bugs Bunny cartoon where he's sawing off Florida. Was he sawing off Florida or California? Also, just to make something clear about this, like, this is, like, sheer cliff. This side around here, and then this island. In terms of the world's lore, there used to be a lot more land here. But what mystery is going to behold in this little crater right here? It's basically Russia and Steven Universe, yeah. Sheer cliff and a big old waterfall where the river ends? Exactly right. What happened to Russia? And Steven, in Steven Universe, at one point they show a map of the world, and there's a big chunk of Russia that's just missing. But yeah, in terms of like spots of note that I've put in here so far, there's this island with these cliffs. There's this island where basically the island itself is below sea level, and water is flowing into this, but it never overflows. This volcanic island's at a spot of interest. This lone island off to the southwest is a place of interest. This area right here, where even though it's in like a more frigid region, the climate in this particular area is tropical. Primary native species around beasts. Like there's like the point of this land is that it's entirely untouched by civilization. This tree, this like thick forest with a tree in here is a point of interest. These caves will probably end up being a point of interest. Where the main towns and cities, that's the beauty of it. There are none. It's basically that meme from I don't know if the Oasis is going to be a point of interest in and of itself, but it's there. But it's like what is it? It's like that meme. What's that meme from Invincible? Well, that's the good news. You don't. Give that little island with the crater a name. So here's the thing. The players are going to name everything. Yeah, that's the neat part. You don't. Yeah. Because it was, because the whole thing was like, Invincible was going into space to fight against some guy. And, it was the first time he'd been in space. So, so he's asking his dad, well, wait a minute, how do I breathe in space? And in his J.K. Simmons fashion, he goes, that's the neat part. You don't. Will we try to get Arcadum as a player? Maybe? Like, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to make any promises about who I want to be in the campaign, because I don't want to put external pressure on them. Bingo! Bell 308 with a 26 months of Prime. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah. Bingo! Well, I have Tom Fawkes in the campaign. No, Tom Fawkes is... Nah. He makes weird characters that he thinks are going to be funny jokes, but end up being really tragic. Proto-Ice Akuzi King with the 12 months of tier 1. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah. Listen, Cokey was originally supposed to have the quirk of, like, trying to be, like, a good person. So here's the thing. Cokey comes from the Yang clan. The Yang clan values beauty above all else. Cokey, in his near-death experience, thought, no, I don't think that valuing beauty above all else is a good idea anymore. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to tell people that they're beautiful no matter what. And in doing so, he was going to, like, point out flaws in people and like, compliment them. Whether or not that was offensive to the people he was saying that to would go straight over Cokey's head. But what ended up happening was I got really nervous on the first day on session 1 playing Cokey, and he ended up turning into a cinnamon bun. That's the story. That's the story of like how Cokey came to be. I got nervous during the first during session 1 of Ink and Blood, and Cokey ended up turning into a cinnamon bun. And everybody loves Cokey. Everybody loves Cokey because this character I was gonna make to be like have a good heart, but his brain wasn't quite there. Ended up being like this like shy, timid, friendly little lizard man. And now bad things are happening to him. I've actually been talking a lot with Arcadum's stream spoiler chat about the possibility of about like the possibility of like where to take Cokey, and they've given me some good ideas. Yeah, Misei was the one who drew Cokey. No, I've got an idea with Cokey. I got plans for Cokey that may or may not end up with him dying. Okay, so I think we've gotten some pretty good stuff here. Because here's the thing with Cokey. I pretty much explained all this backstory, most of his backstory for this when he was kind of giving his heartfelt apology to Elliot. But Cokey had a near-death experience and was desperate not to die and like reached out to like anybody who was listening to save him. Who was listening was Crowley. So Crowley was like, "Hey, guess what? You get to live, but you're mine now." So Cokey is now against his will a cleric of Crowley, trying to find a way out of his contract with Crowley. To the point where now he's afraid to die because he knows if he dies, then whatever happens to him in the afterlife, or that what's going to happen to him in the afterlife is going to be that Crowley gets his soul. Mind the CR, it stands for challenge rating. Basically what the party needs to be before they can try to fight the monster in question. Yep, yeah, I know. Hey, Chicken McScruffy, thank you for the raid. Here's some countermeasures. And boop. Bingo! Zeta Program 142 with the 6 months of tier 1 saying 6 months of fun and Quagsires. Wait, why are there so many Quagsires in my home? There's too many Quagsires. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah. CR doesn't make sense. Like I said, I'll try to make fair and balanced, what do you call them? Encounters. The line between Warlock and Cleric is kind of fuzzy. The only thing I understand from it is that, like, the key difference between a Warlock patron and a Cleric's god is that Warlock patrons aren't gods. Fair and balanced. Got it. Tiamat is the first encounter, just like the TV show. Yep. Exactly. What do we got? We also got the Tarrasque. Ooh, 676 hit points. Except for the Pact of the Old God route. Okay, so the only reason I'd argue against that is because like old gods are more eldritch beings than they are like gods. Legendary resistance. I like this description for legendary resistance. If the Tarrasque fails a saving throw, it could choose to succeed instead. Is Crowley a bad god? Crowley is the god of, like, war and death and, like, all this stuff.
Hey everyone, my name is Carlos Eni, also known as Insane in the
Hi, Carlos.
here on YouTube, and I'm here today to review after an entire year.
Crowley is in from the Ozzy song Mr. Crowley. Throw a Tarrasque at him, straight out of the gate. What if it's just like, you hear thumping in the distance. Over the tree line, you can see a Tarrasque walking through. We're gonna go the other direction. What would the faith of Cokey's clan be? I did not get a chance to read up too much on the Yang clan. All I really know is that they value beauty above all else. But Cokey is also from Glaeus, which is a... I'm trying to think now. Glaeus doesn't really have the same kind of pantheon as the Western kingdoms do in our kingdoms campaign. The Glaeans consider yokai to be their gods. I somehow doubt a terrace would simply waltz through. Cokey's clan favors a peacock yokai, a completely separate thing. The terrace cannot be defeated. If it loses, the DM has failed. Yeah, so like in the last episode of Ink and Blood, Cokey was being corrupted by a cursed book, and Crowell is like, "Hey, I'm gonna save you, but also let's like you basically just got like sort of like stabbed through the heart in like the spirit realm of this book, so I'm gonna stab you 3 more times to snap you out of it, and you deal max damage now. Battle for an hour. Thank you. You're welcome." And Cokey hates that so much. Cokey did not die. Cokey took like a third of his health and damage. In order to save Cokey from being cursed by a book. And also gave Cokey max damage at the start of the during an encounter we had. Cokey had a near-death experience. Basically, Cokey was on death's door when he desperately reached out for somebody to save him, and Crowley was like, "Hey, new follower!" There was lore for the Tarrasque in previous D&D monster manuals, where it's like it was created by like a group of really powerful wizards, but they couldn't control it. What's the next character's name gonna be if there is one? I don't know. I did have an idea for there's a meme in Arcadum's like group called Kick Puncher. Basically, it's a Yozai, which is a half yokai, half human. That has so the Yozai are like part yokai, and they have their arms are more like spirit arms as opposed to like human arms. They could take on many forms. They could take on normal arms. They could be like animal arms and whatnot, depending on what yokai your parent was. So, was it Gmart that had the idea for it? Where the arms were gonna be legs? Like the spirit arms are gonna be legs, and he would be the monk known as Kick Puncher? So my idea instead was a monk that heard about Kick Puncher in like that like sort of like thought that like Kick Puncher was like this great epic hero and wants to be like him, but he's just a human. So his fighting style is that he takes his boots off his feet and puts them on his hands and fights that way. Raul has tentacle arms, yes. It was gonna have a name, but his nickname was gonna be the Boot Boxer. I think I also joked that the Kick Puncher was Mr. McGregor from The Simpsons. Well, if it isn't my good friend Mr. McGregor, with a leg for an arm and an arm for a leg. No, it's not Boxerfoot. His arch nemesis would be Fistfoot. It sounds like Bigfoot if he just had hands for feet and was walking around on the knuckles like a gorilla, but standing up on hind legs. Kick puncher? Why don't you just have him be, instead of kick puncher, just call him punch kicker and have him have hands for feet? He's just an ape. Oh, man. Oh, man. It's fun talking about just stupid D&D stuff. Big fist. Reject Cokey, return to monkey. He has opposable thumbs on his feet. Yeah, he's, like, so he has, like, normal legs, but his feet are just hands. Joshua Slowpoke with 100 bits saying, so silly question, why are Terras so powerful in D&D? Medieval myth was pacified by a saint with nothing but holy water, then accidentally shot to death with 1,000 arrows. How do you accidentally shoot something to death with 1,000 arrows? Yeah, low 5. I also had the idea for, like, very clumsily. It was probably, like, an army that, like, a commander, had their, like, soldiers at the ready with, like, bows and arrows. And then, before they got the word that the creature was pacified, like, instructed his men to fire. The Demogorgon. So this is, so someone was saying that there were, that there were 3 Demogorgons in D&D. The normal one, what do you call it? The Stranger Things one. The Stranger Things one, and then this one, which is apparently an Etten that thinks it's a Demogorgon. Boot knocker. What's like a races? Because I do have an idea for my own race as well, but it's a spoiler for an adventure, and actually it won't be the race I plan on making won't be available until after the players beat one finish rather one of their adventures. Races. Satyr, Leonin. Lineages. What are lineages? What happened to me? Following the lineages are races that characters might gain through remarkable events. These overshadow their original race, if anything, becoming their new race. A character might choose a lineage during their character creation, their transformation having occurred before play begins, or events might unfold during adventures that lead your character replacing their race with this new lineage. Working with your DM to establish if you're amenable to such a development to how the story would unfold. That's interesting.
Bingo!
Dumphier. Or Dumpier. Hexblood. Oh, I see. Still pretty interesting. It's kind of interesting that there's like lineages and then they're like subdivided into like sub races. I need professional help with the 7 months of tier 1, saying, wow, it's like that is like 7 months or something. That is. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah. I'm a half vampire. I always thought Genasi were really cool. Or
Genasi.
Genasi. Heirs to elemental power. Genasi inherit something from both sides of their... So they have like they're basically like half human, half elementals. And there's different like subgenres of them: air, earth, fire, and water. Do you want coffee or do you want tea? Yeah, Genasi are neat. Yuan Ti are pretty neat. There's a big like meme going around about tieflings on like our D&D memes, where it's like there's like again, like, so all this is exactly what it's supposed to be, a guide, which means it's a guideline, which means you don't have to follow it exactly. So one thing that it says on here is that like the tiefling have like a specific color of skin, which I think is usually like human skin, or like maybe like a little bit like paler, or like more towards like red. And everyone else is but like everyone's like, let's make our tiefling like any type of any type of skin color they want to be. Turtles are cool. I like the turtle race a lot. I tried to convince Chill to be a turtle rogue, so he could be a teenage mutant turtle, ninja turtle. I caught a big fish. Now I search for a good friend to share my lunch with. A turtle haiku. Turtles really should have longer lifespans, but again, this is merely a guide. They also have a ridiculous ability. In fact, due to your shell and the shape of your body, you are ill-suited to wearing armor. Your shell provides ample protection, however. It gives you a base AC of 17! Yeah, they only live to 50. We did end up yes, we did get Jerry. Your dexterity modifier doesn't affect this number. I wonder if that means that, like, you don't gain... Does this mean you don't gain AC from your dexterity? You do not. Turtle Monk doesn't matter. Or Barbarian. Turtle Barbarian would work the same way. They get their Constitution as their armor for unarmored... Turtle Monk Barbarian is Raphael. Yeah. A Turtle Artificer would be Donatello. He does do machines after all. I love the way goblins are portrayed here, as opposed to like how every single person I've seen play a goblin look. Because I would like to, I'd like to direct you all to Takahata 101's character of Durst the First. It's more like a Warcraft goblin, honestly. Durst the First was a cleric of the coin. I am looking at stuff on like D&D Beyond, and like writing stuff down because I want to run my own campaign. So I'm like trying to get like I'm trying to like spitball ideas with chat and whatnot for ideas and whatnot. Gnomes and halflings. I remember in 3.5 when your size equated to how much damage you could do. So like, if you were a halfling or a gnome and you were using a short sword, that was the equivalent to a medium-sized character using a dagger. Feral, tiefling, turtle, changeling. Who was a changeling? I forgot the name of the player in that one and their character name. Hex! Yes, thank you. Who played Hex? Joe Fudge, thank you. It's a changeling, you need a high charisma score. I like Arcanum's take on changelings where they're all female. Bugbear is a playable race. Fearbulg. Kenkus are fun. I want to see if I could find, deal, maybe, let's see. So I think, like, languages, here we go. You can write in Common and Oran, but you can only speak using your mimicry trait. Meaning that you need to... meaning that in order for a Kenku to actually speak, they're just imitating everybody around them. Well, Kenkus are basically ravens, and ravens can actually imitate speech better than parrots can. Corvids are unbelievably smart. Love those birds. Yep, they can hold grudges. They also recognize people as they also recognize people who have helped them in the past. Because I remember hearing stories about people who have have fed ravens or have been good to ravens, and then they'll find like presents from ravens on their front step. Kobolds are fun. Kobolds. It's interesting because kobolds look like dragon people, but I've seen them portrayed more as rat people in Arcanum stuff.
Man, you have
Is
no
Brett
idea
Ultimus'
how
character.
happy it makes me to be able to play.
Dog like kobolds as well. You might be thinking of gnolls. Are there gnolls in this one? Or is that like a World of Warcraft race? Gnolls are like hyena people. Someone shouted Loxodon. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I forgot there were elephant people in D&D. Loxodons physically mature at the same rate as humans, but they live to be 450 years old. Meanwhile, the turtles got shafted at 50 years. Cat is one size larger when determining your carrying capacity and the weight you can push, drag, or lift. Interesting. Tabaxi are not a vanilla class. No, they are... Let me see. Tabaxi. There we go. They are part of Volo's Guide to Monsters. So if you want to play as a cat person. Tabaxi have a lifespan equivalent to humans. Tend toward chaotic alignments, as is the nature of cats. Because of cats' claws, because of your claws, you've got a climbing speed of 20. In addition, your claws are natural weapons, which you can use to make unarmed strikes. If you hit with them, they deal slashing damage equal to 1d4 plus your strength modifier. Cat talent, you gain proficiency in perception and stealth. Tabaxi monks can potentially move faster than the speed of sound. Tabaxi monk with the mobile perk and have over 300 feet of movement. What gives them more movement? It says here their base walking speed is 30 feet. Oh, here we go. When you move on your turn in combat, you can double your speed until the end of the turn. Double your speed? Underbits from Moonstalker saying, I have 2 questions for you. The first being, you plan on streaming your campaign someday? Yes. And the second being, if you do streaming, do you think you'll do more? D&D can be pretty addicting, Tom Cokey, Tom Pop. Oh, hell yeah. Like, the reason I'm in this in the first place because I wanted to get back into D&D for so long. Found an opportunity playing in Arcanum's campaign, and now I'm like, I feel confident enough to make my own campaign. Yeah, no. I understand that Monk... I didn't realize the female agility one gave you the ability to move twice your speed in 1 turn. Yeah, monks are nuts. Unarmored... Let's look at the unarmored movement here. An additional 10 feet at 2nd level, 15 feet at 6th, 20 feet at 10th, 25 feet at 40, and 30. So you're basically moving you double your speed on a normal character. Good lord. Do you have a Dungeon Master's Guide? I own the physical copy, and I've also got all the books on here, so yes. Yeah, can't they spend key on, like, really, like, weird things? Give us your cash! I have a Mr. Gorgonov saying Yugi voice. Wait, did you just relocate 100 meters in 1 turn? That's against the rules, isn't it? Screw the rules, I'm a cat! They get so much stuff, too, for combat as well. Plays a monk in a 100 saying you can grab bullets. Yeah, deflect missiles at 3rd level. Beginning at 4th level, you can use your reaction when you fall to reduce any falling damage you take by an amount equal to 5 times your monk level. So you can reduce it by 20. I forgot how fall damage works. Is it after the first 10 feet, it's 1d6 damage for every 10 feet after that? $1d6 per 10 feet. Even from the first 10 feet, or is it after the first 10 feet? I'm sorry. Level 9, unarmored movement improvement. At 9th level, you gain the ability to move along vertical surfaces and across liquids without falling during your move. Tongue of the Sun and Moon. You learn to touch the key of the minds of others so you can understand all spoken languages. Monks are nuts. Oh, I forgot about the optional class features as well. Jesus. I mean, that's just the base class. Where is... I'm looking for homebrew. My homebrew creations. I've created 1 subclass, which is the Aegis class for fighters. It still needs a little bit of tweaking, but in essence, it's basically you use a shield as a melee weapon. Caught up on the Mighty Nine. I haven't watched the Mighty Nine in a long time. I know they just finished the campaign like about a month ago. So yeah, basically I just made Captain America because shield bash, shield throw. Guardian stance is basically just like the I forgot, it's one of the reactions you could take. Shield surf. Maybe I could put that in there. The best offense, I think, is it's a very simple class, because basically it just takes it basically just takes a normal it takes one like weapon or it takes a piece of armor, turns it into a weapon, turns it into a throwing weapon, makes it so like you can like sort of like use like basically make it so you can like interrupt attacks and like bash people with your shield. It's a very simple subclass. Dual wield tower shields. I thought of that. They'd be a little bit too heavy for that. I counted the tower shield as a two-handed weapon in terms of this. Basically, how I have that work is that a standard shield is a 1d6 bludgeoning weapon, with the versatile property making it a 1d10 bludgeoning weapon. However, when you unequip it, when you use it as a two-handed weapon, you don't gain the AC bonus from it. Smaller shields like bucklers have deal 1d4 bludgeoning damage, have the light and finesse properties. And bucklers grant +1 to AC, as opposed to +2 that standard shields do. Tower shields have the 1d2 deal 1d2 bludgeoning damage, and have the heavy and two-handed properties, and grant half cover when equipped as a shield. Did I say 1d2 or 1d12? I meant to say 1d12 for two-handed. For a two-handed weapon to deal only that much damage? To deal 1d2 damage, that'd be, wouldn't work out great. Made a magical dart that's basically the rose from Sailor Moon. That just reminds me of that one meme where it's like, my work here is done, but you didn't do anything. Does the Aegis get a phalanx bonus? Like other allies with shields, you get additional bonus. No, but that would be a good idea. Jasper Solberg with the 100 bit saying, I'd love to listen to Critical Role in podcast form, but the feed they currently use starts at episode 19 of the second campaign. First 18 episodes of the podcast, the second campaign, were lost along with the first campaign podcast. I may have to watch the first 18 stream VODs of the Mighty Nine before switching to the podcast. Yeah, I mean, it happens. Why not check out DM's Guild for homebrew stuff? Is that another website? I mean, I wouldn't mind making my own DM stuff. Or, I'm sorry, my own homebrew stuff. Mostly just a bookstore? Ah, okay. Some of the... it's really funny to see, like, if I go to... Let me see. Let's try browse subclasses. Because if I look at, I think if I look at the top rated one, here we go. The rogue subclass of 2 goblins in a trench coat. This is one of the highest rated ones, underneath the garlic bread cleric domain in the anime swordsman class. Just realized the garlic bread domain. There's also Unearthed Arcana, yeah, which is like official test stuff. What is the garlic bread domain? Let's see. Toasted. At first level, you become a chef to appease your deity. You gain proficiency with cook's utensils. Disciple of garlic bread. Starting at first level, you've received the ability to make garlic bread to those who need it. You may create garlic bread at any time. You may only make 2 average-sized pieces at a time, and you cannot make more until the previous ones are eaten. This is not disabled by an anti-magic field or similar effects. Feed the hungry and gorge the wicked. You may use your channel divinity to do one of these things. You give all hungry creatures within a 100-foot radius the nutrients they need to live. Or you can give one creature of your choice to see within 30 feet 1 level of exhaustion. Butter Slick. Using the power of garlic butter, you may slip up your enemies. Starting at 6th level, you may cast Grease at will. You may also use Channel Divinity to cast Grease as a bonus action. Garlic Infusion. At 8th level, you gain the ability to infuse your weapons with the power of garlic, which deals an additional 1d12 of poison damage because of food poisoning. This does twice the damage against vampires. This increases the 2d12 at level 14. Delicious Retribution. Starting at 17th level, you may send those opposing your deity away forever. What? You may use an action to bring any creature within 100 HP or less and an alignment opposite of yours to 0 HP. You must... It's basically like an instant kill if they're below 100 HP. Oh my god. You must take a long rest before you can use this feature again. Good god. Garlic bread domain's amazing. Lunar Debolt with the 17 months of Prime saying, the true get the bread subclass. Yep. Earned that bread. The party is certainly shocked to find the normal-sized humanoid they thought they knew was in fact 2 goblins in a trench coat. However, these sneaky, industrious Sphinx have a way to make this odd situation work to their advantage. Too many hands. Starting at 3rd level, you have advantage on steal sleight of hand checks. Panic! When you choose this archetype at 3rd level, whenever you take damage, you can use your reaction to go in 2 different directions at once. This grants you the effect of disengage and allows both goblins to move into their full movements each. While split, each goblin has half the remaining hit points. They still share the same initiative and do not get any more attacks than normal. They are still only 1 character. But so long as both have weapons, either one can attack. While split, they count as an ally for the purpose of a sneak attack. Attacks of opportunity against them have disadvantage. They cannot regain hit points by any method until they use 1 action to rejoin. Cut some eye holes. Starting at 9th level, you have advantage on all perception and investigation checks. You may also use Goblin Dark Vision if they were, if the race they're opposing as didn't already have better than 60 feet of night vision. You also can't be surprised. So basically, that's right. You take this as a subclass. So basically, 2 goblins in a trench coat for the first 3 levels are pretending to be a person until they reveal themselves to be 2 goblins in a trench coat. I love this subclass. When separated through panic, they lose advantage, but their total modifier for all intelligence investigation checks and wisdom perception checks are doubled. Oh my god. Bickering. By 13th level, your goblins have grown different enough that they've learned a new skill. New skills. Gain proficiency in 3 new skills. While the goblins are split using panics, their constant arguing is enough to confound any foe. Use a bonus action to force enemies to make a wisdom saving throw. DC is 8, plus proficiency bonus, plus charisma. Unless they have proficiency in performance, persuasion, or deception, they may they may calculate the DC as 8 plus proficiency plus one of those skills. On a failed save, the target is at disadvantage on all attack rolls. On a successful save, the enemy has a disadvantage on attack rolls against all targets except your goblins. They may make a new save at the end of each turn. If the target makes their save after having failed their save at least once, they will automatically succeed against the saves of the effect against the next 24 hours. Good lord. Gotcha. When you reach 17th level, you've become adept at playing off people's surprise at your strange nature. When you attempt to attack a creature, it must make a wisdom saving throw. 10 versus your charisma bonus, unless you have expertise in performance or deception. Then the DC is 8 plus charisma plus your proficiency bonus. Failed save, you have disadvantage against the target. On a successful save, the creature perceives your nature and has disadvantage to hitting you the next round. Good lord. What a weird thing. 2 goblins in a trench coat.
First off, you want to hold like this.
Imagine making a character as like a rogue at first level, and then you're looking at the like the like subclasses, like you're looking at homebrew subclasses, and you find 2 goblins in a trench coat, and you're like, well, I did make myself an orc rogue, but what if they were actually 2 goblins? Blue Mage, Azure Lore, Azure Affinity. There's currently a war going on in the D&D memes subreddit over which is better, sorcerers or wizards. There's a Blue Mage in D&D. That's a homebrew. These are all homebrew classes, so users made these. Let's see the lowest rated ones. Oh, let's turn off that rating threshold, though. Minus 82 points of the Wolfpack Hunter. Wolf Cub. At 3rd level, a wolf decides to come on your journey. Wolf Bites. At 7th level, your basic melee attacks do 1d20 damage. I think this person was a little bit new when making it. Deal 15 more damage with a basic melee attack. Your wolf can make a basic melee attack against the target. That's a very newcomer thing. Ah, the balance. Wizards are fun. It's kind of hard to homebrew wizards though, because all their subclasses are based around well, except for like Order of Scribes and like a lot of the expanded stuff, but a lot of their base stuff is based around the different schools of magic. I mean, wizards have the potential to learn like every spell possible if they have a spell book big enough. And where wizards are like, I have studied magic extensively in order to gain the power to bend the magic weave to my will. Sorcerer is like, ha, my dad fucked the dragon. Aberrant Mind Sorcerer is actually what I'm going to be playing in Brett's campaign. Basically, some ungodly old influence is now stuck in my brain, and I can communicate with people telepathically. Wild magic is fun, but here's the thing. With wild magic, it's probably better to make your own wild magic table because some of these effects are like interesting, but like not like, I don't know. What are they, like double wild magic? Good lord. On a 1 or 2, roll on this table at the start of each of your turns for the next minute. You cast Fireball as a 3rd level spell centered on yourself. Oh no. That'd basically just create the Fireball incident again. 1d6 flumps controlled by the DM appear in unoccupied spaces within 60 feet of you and are frightened of you. They vanish after 1 minute. You cast Levitate on yourself. You cast Fly on a random creature within 60 feet of you. If you die within the next minute, you immediately come back to life as if by the reincarnate spell. Which, by the way, let's take a look at that, shall we? You touch a dead humanoid or a piece of dead humanoid, provided the creature has been dead no longer than 10 days. Spell forms a new adult body and then calls the soul to the center of that body. The soul's target isn't free or willing to do so, and the spell fails. Once you do that, you roll on this table, and then they come back as that. So I hope you weren't too attached to your character.
Thank you.
If you only got 1000 G and a 5th level spell slot,
Because we sure did.
and they were dead for more than a day.
Our amazing lead vocalist.
97 to 98 just gives you a battle theme. You're surrounded by faint, ethereal music for the next minute. Oh my goodness. Controlled chaos. Or chaos controlled! At 14th level, you gain a modicum of control over the surges of your wild magic. Whenever you roll in the wild magic table, you can roll twice and use either number. Yeah, wild magic is nuts. Funnily enough, the race that I plan on coming up with actually fits in better with lineages than being its own race. There is a wild magic barbarian. Yes, that thing is nuts. Path of wild magic. Your wild magic surges aren't as bad as the sorcerers, though. Shadowy tendrils lash around you, each creature. Yeah, so you only get 8 choices of things as opposed to like the 50 that are on the sorcerer one. Was it the zealot? Yes. Where is it? Divine fury, fanatical focus. That's not it. Rage beyond death. Here we go. While raging, having 0 hit points doesn't knock you unconscious. You still make death saving throws and would suffer normal effects of taking damage while at 0 hit points. However, if you would die due to failing death saving throws, you don't die until your rage ends. Then you only die if you have 0 hit points. Too angry to die. So good. Totem Warrior is a stand user? Is that true? Oh yeah! Except you summon like the spirit of like of a specific thing. 400 bits from Sheena saying, local barbarian too angry to die. It's true. If I do play D&D, I probably won't have alerts on. Like if I run a game. I say if, I should say when. Battle Rager is dwarves only. Again, that is a suggestion. I just came up with another stupid idea for a barbarian subclass. Like Path of the Throw or something like that. When they go into rage, they get advantages on throwing anything. Like they just get angry and throw stuff. Path of the Chuckster. Give us your cash! Boom, kaboom goes Maximus. I'm sorry, Boom goes max with the 500 saying, Wizards study hard to pass the tests. Sorcerers pass through an innate skill. Warlocks have sex with the teacher to pass. Bards pass, but have sex with the teacher anyway. Yep. That's the arcane side of it, at least. Clerics are good boys and go to church instead. Path of the Yeet. Monk does have a Dragon Ball. Isn't that Sun Soul? Radiant Sunbolt. There we go. You get a new attack option. You can use it with the attack action. Special attack is a range attack with a range of 30 feet. You're proficient with it. Adds your dexterity modifier to the attack and damage rolls. Its damage is radiant and deals its damage die is a D4. So basically, you just throw like like energy at it. 100 bits from Joshua Slowpoke saying, I'm thinking of getting into D&D at some point. My first plan was to go with a Fearbulk Druid, either the Circle of Stars or Circle of Spores, but I might be tempted to try 2 goblins in a trench coat because of how hard I laughed when I heard you describing it. I'll sleep well tonight. Just make sure it's alright with your DM first. Bring it up with your DM and make sure they're alright with it. Better to surprise the players than to surprise the DM. Drunken Master. Drunken Technique. At 3rd level, you learn how to twist and turn as part of your Flurry of Blows. When you use Flurry of Blows, you get the benefit of Disengage action, and your walking speed increases by 10 feet until the end of the current turn. That's actually really good. Tipsy Sway. Starting at 6th level, you move in sudden swaying ways. You get the following benefits. Leap to your feet. When you're prone, stand up by spending 5 feet of movement rather than half your speed. Redirect attack. When a creature misses you with a melee attack roll, expend 1 key point as a reaction to cause that attack to hit one creature of your choice, other than the attacker that you can see within 5 feet of you. Drunkard's Luck. Starting at 11, you always seem to get a lucky bounce at the right moment. When you make an ability check at an attack roll or a saving throw and have disadvantage on the roll, you can spend 2 key points to cancel the disadvantage for that roll. Oh yeah. Drunken Boxing is a real thing. Intoxicated Frenzy. At 17th level, you gain the ability to make an overwhelming number of attacks against a group of enemies when you use your Flurry of Blows. You can make up to 3 additional attacks with it, up to a total of 5 Flurry of Blows attacks. Provide that each Flurry of Blow attack targets a different creature this turn. I swear there was like a Tavern Brawler. Was that under Fighter? No, I swear there was a Tavern Brawler. Maybe it was like a Rogue or a Druid. Or not a Druid, nope. Tavern Brawler is a feat. Okay, I thought that was a subclass. Let's check out this one. Artificer. These guys are nuts. Basically, they can create inventions that help them in combat. Magical Tinkering. At 1st level, you learn how to invest a spark of magic into mundane objects. To use this ability, you must have thieves' tools or artisans' tools in hands. You then touch a tiny non-magical object as an action to give it one of the following magical properties of your choice. Object sheds a bright light in a 5-foot radius and dim light for an additional 5 feet. Whenever tapped by a creature, the object emits a recorded message that can be heard up to 10 feet away. You utter the message when you bestow this property onto the object, and the recording can be no more than 6 seconds long, so basically the turn of a combat. The object continually emits your choice of an odor or non-verbal sound, wind waves, chirping, or the like. Chosen phenomenon is perceivable up to 10 feet away. A static visual effect appears on one of the object's surfaces. This effect could be a picture, up to 25 words of text, lines and shapes, or a mixture of these elements as you like. College of Creationist Fantasia. So yeah, artificers are nuts. They cast spells and they also imbue magic into stuff that they make. Magic Item Adept. You can attune up to 4 magic items at once. Usually the limit is 3.
Bingo!
Average Damos with the 3 months of tier 1. Here is a sub for your sub. Mwah. Yeah, Artificers were originally part of Unearthed Arcana, and they officially came out with Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, which made a lot of Unearthed Arcana stuff part of the main game if you're using expanded stuff. And you can go like different ways for specialties. Artificer specialists. I don't think he's gotten there yet. Bingo! There we go. That was weird. Fan with the 44 months of tier 1. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah. Why on here is it under Tasha's? Because it used to be Unearthed Arcana, but then it was made part of Tasha's. Eberron book, actually? I thought it was under Tasha's. Tasha made it generalized, yeah. Alchemist, basically you create potions and whatnot. Armorer, basically Iron Man. You can customize your, arcane armor. Your metallurgical pursuits have led you to making an armor conduit for your magic. As an action, you can turn a suit of armor you wear into arcane armor, provided you with smith's tools in hand. Oh, Eberron had it, Tasha reprinted it. Gotcha. I thought it was part of Unearthed Arcana. Oh well. Guardian, you design your armor to be in the front line of conflict. It gets the following features. Oh, goody. Customize your armor to be stealth. So, yeah, you basically... Jesus Christ. Being a Guardian gives you extra attacks. Artillerist. Why don't we just make magical cannons? Battlesmith. There's an Aegis subclass in expanded psionics. You basically become a Green Lantern Iron Man, where you can make your suit out of energy and can manipulate it on a whim. That's pretty neat. Before Eberron, it was Unearthed Arcana. Okay. Most things are before they're released. Yeah, because Unearthed Arcana is like test stuff. The Warlock, aka more spell slots, please. Wow, I didn't oh no, I didn't realize they wow. I didn't realize they got so few spell slots. Like, when I saw the memes on D&D memes, I was like, they're exaggerating. And now I see this. They get 4! Bingo! Iceman with the 49 months of tier 1 saying, howdy, Mr. Tom and chat. I'm so glad to see my favorite YouTuber and streamer playing D&D. What's your favorite class so far? Honestly, like, Cokey has been a lot of fun to play. The Undead Cleric. Basically adepted both spellcasting and like, melee. Sure, why not? Yeah, Eldritch Blast can be pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Sinful. Oh no. Wow, I just realized they only get up to 5th level for Jesus Christ. For being a spellcasting class, they get shafted on spells. Their invocations are meant to cover for their lack of spell slots. Yeah. I imagine that, what's it called? Eldritch Blast is gonna be working on that. I wanted to make, so you know, like, all these are like pacts with other beings. So it's like you make a pact with like a celestial, the archfey, a genie, whatever. I had 2 ideas for this that were really stupid. One was Pact of the DM. So the DM is basically what gives you your power. And the other one was Pact of the Self, where you believe in yourself so hard that you just gain the powers of a warlock. Which is basically like the faithless cleric that that Tomato plays in Shrine of Sin. Well, well, Shiva, in this case, I am the DM, so I would allow it. Pact of the Ego. Pact of the Ego would be pretty funny, too. I like Pact of the Self better. Pact of the DM sounds dangerous. It's basically a crapshoot. Hey, what's going on, G? Tom's gonna be a DM? I would like to. Pact of the Mirror? Hey, looking good. One of my Lorocks is in a pyramid scheme where their patron is another warlock that's siphoning magic. They're siphoning magic from. Oh my god. Whew. Pact of the MLM. Oh, I also had an idea for a bard that was just called the Dropout, since all of their subclasses are colleges. I haven't thought about the subclass abilities yet. So Dropout, aka first campaign Metal Ika. I haven't seen that one yet, so I gotta take a look at that. They're what is it? They're in the Divine Wind campaign, right? Dude, I've wanted to play D&D for like the longest time, but never had like the balls to ask anybody. And now I'm playing in one of Arcadum's campaigns, so I'm just like, hell yeah, dude. Scrolls and Notchik is a blast. Catching up with that before seeing Divine Wind. I'm working my way through the Glaeus arcs. I finished Pride of the Night Wolf. I'm working on Shrine of Sin right now. I just got to the part in Shrine of Sin. I got to the part in Shrine of Sin where they have where they were just offered to yeah, I got to the part in Shrine of Sin where they were offered to participate in Divine Wind. So I think I'm at the end of episode 4. Give us your cash! Yes, he does have a YouTube channel for his VODs. It's just like, look up Arcadum on YouTube and it's like the first thing that comes up. Animator with the 500 bit saying, hey Tom, just wanted to say I'm finally done with the craft project for you. Oh, nice. It's ready to be shipped when you get it. Can you open it on stream? Because I want chat to see it too. I don't have a P.O. box. I have to make a P.O. box first. You're gonna have to wait on that one a little bit. I do intend to get a P.O. box, but I don't have one right now. That was the coin flip fiasco, yeah, when they're trying to determine whether or not to go to the ruins of the swamp. Ink and Blood is the name of the campaign that I'm in. That one features myself, Chilled, Elohim, Co-Carnage, and I don't remember. I just remember referring to him as Zeke, but I don't remember his full username, Ezekiel something or other. Zeke, I don't think his name is Zekinator. I was so ready, I was on board with that one. Ezekiel III, thank you. Yeah, Ink and Blood 4 tomorrow. That's another campaign I need to catch up on, is the entirety of the 4 episodes of Among the Reeds. From what I understand, Among the Reeds ended at episode 4 and now they're starting a new campaign. We only sell one kind of bush here, an ambush. I don't know what they did. All I know is that when you get a group of like, when you get a group of Grand Theft Auto role players together, things are gonna get nuts. So this has apparently, like, according to the chat, like apparently according to well, I guess not even really according to it, but in stream spoiler chat there's another meme going around where Crowley stonks are up because there are 3 clerics of Crowley amongst these, like, all these campaigns right now. Who is it? Is it Seer who plays Eli Bloodbane? Yeah. Seer plays Eli Bloodbane, who is like a who's like a Southern Cajun priest. He's a yes, I am on Arcanum's Discord. Yeah. I'm pretty actively in there. He plays a cleric of Crowley who is like a southern like a Southern Cajun priest. And then I think Lily Pichu is also a cleric. Lily Pichu is a cleric of the Black Pantheon, but I don't know if she's a cleric of Crowley though. Yeah, Isukrimu. She is Crowley, okay. And then there's Cokey, who does not want to be a cleric of Crowley. Oh my god, there's so much. Anyway, for those of you that are new here, here's the map to my world. At least to one of the continents in the world. This is Nasentia, the world, the continent of new beginnings. Used as a fairy tale and a myth. Before the Great Cataclysm, it was used as a fairy tale and a myth to, yep, incarnate. It was used as a fairy tale and a myth, to inspire hope to people. But then when, demons started pouring out of, every single crack and crevice in, the rest of the world, they're like, hey, let's figure out if the myth is real. And it is. Surrounded by an everlasting storm called the Storm Wall. Our journey begins, the journey of this campaign begins with our heroes on the, what did I call the ship? The Rise. R-E-I-Z. On the deck of the Rise, trying to quell a mutiny for people who think that going into the storm wall is a death sentence. R-E-I-Z. Yep, Rise. This is apparently apparently this map has become just a Rorschach test for everybody. Because Alan Starflight says it looks like a whale wearing a sailor's hat. Is that mostly on the right side? Like, this is the eye, this is the mouth, and this is the hat? Pompadour fish? I see the fish now. I can never unsee the fish. The river is the mouth. Which river? Over here? River is the mouth and the mountains are the head. Oh, I see. So, like, this is... No, that's not the eye. So that's the mouth. A chicken facing left with a big poofy tail. You know what? You caught me. This entire continent was modeled after Kiara from Hololive. A giant chicken. Joshua Slowpoke with Underbit saying, it looks like post-Neo-Pangea North America after sea levels have risen, some geological change. And a major impact to Texas. Actually, this kind of looks like, okay, this is gonna look like be a really weird description of it. But this forest right here looks like if you're looking like down at a dolphin. So like this is the blowhole, like the eye would be like around here, and then this is the nose, and this is the top of the head. And that's his fin reaching out for mackerel. What's the scale? Big? I haven't quite got that down yet. It looks like a Psychic Pebbles character. I tried to make the trees as small as possible to give it like more of a sense of it being like real big. Since this is supposed to be a continent after all, and not just sort of like, not just an island. Talking Eurasia big? Not that big. Maybe India? I'd say it's maybe the size of India. India, but it's a bird. Nope. I already have a few, like, to those of you that are just showing up, I want to go over the points of interest that I made on here. There's this forest with a single island in the center of this lake with a giant tree in it. There is... This is all, like sheer cliff right here. With this island in the center and the crater in the middle of it. And just as a note, there used to be a lot more land here. This volcanic island. This island here, which is actually below sea level, except for this, which is like a wall surrounding it. There's like a bit of water that's running in here, but it never floods. So we'll see what that's all about. These caves in the tip of the jungle here. This jungle is probably going to be its own point of interest. There's an oasis right here. And then this area right here is a tropical climate despite being in a frigid taiga and you know, like a polar area. And I did not request that Siri activate. And then this is kind of like so like I don't know if it's noticeable, but like you can see like how small these trees are compared to these trees. So these are kind of like supposed to be akin to like redwoods. Like these trees are giant. That's pretty much like what I got in terms of like this world here. Two places that don't really have a lot of points of interest are like these rolling hills, these fields, the swamp, and the mountains don't really have a point of interest either because I'm not really sure where to place one. And this sort of like arid area. Is this on Steam? This is Incarnate. This is a program on you can use on browser. We've just been going back and forth between like this and D&D Beyond. I've just been trying to get some inspiration and whatnot for the for my campaign. Is it going to be fairly populated? Lots of cities and smaller towns? Oh, that's right. I didn't actually talk about that. Because this is a fabled country or a fabled continent that people thought didn't exist, it is completely untouched by civilization. So I was taking notes about like what what would be occupying the continent normally, and in terms of like classes of creatures on there, it'd be beast, dragons, elemental, fae, monstrosities, oozes, and plants. Humanoids and giants will colonize it. Undead might be introduced. Let me see. Let me go back to monsters. There we go. Aberrations might be introduced, as well as fiends and celestials. Yeah, pretty much everything else on here is ripe to be introduced into the world. But in terms of the native creatures on here, were you pulling players from friends? Mostly, probably friends, primarily friends, other content creators. I'm thinking, but again, I'm not gonna make any promises about who I'm going to ask because I don't want to put pressure on people to join by making it a whole public thing. Basically, it's basically gonna come down to who wants to play and who has one day a week free for like a 4-hour session. Rainy Day Zach with the 13 months of tier 1. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah. Yes, please do not pressure other content creators. Chilled is a pasta domain cleric. Chilled's already a rogue. Chilled's a half-elf rogue. They're gonna be streamed. Are you gonna bring the streams to YouTube after they're streamed? Yes. Time commitment is always one that makes it so folks can't. But once you get that group, some excellent times will be had. Hell yeah. I had an idea for a fighter character at one point. I made a real stupid name for him too. He was gonna be an Eldritch Knight that focused primarily on throwing weapons, because one of the Eldritch Knight class features is Weapon Bond. That basically allows me to like call my weapon back to me. So he was gonna throw the weapon and then like call it back to him. And his name was Lennon Pledge. Lennon Pledge. No, not Lemon Pledge, Lennon. There's a difference. There's a big difference. Yeah, Eldritch Knight is fun. Battlenet Master could get pretty nuts. Samurai. It's all about making the role-playing entertaining. It's all about making the game entertaining. How much of a balance do I want between This is gonna be like very much exploration heavy because there's like nothing around. Battlemaster is the highest damage per round character last I saw. Wow. Ah, I'm the long-forgotten ranger. And my favorite ranger subclass, the Swarm Keeper. And my favorite ability, the Swarming Dispersal. You can discorporate into your swarm, avoiding danger. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to give your oh, no, wait, that's not the one I was looking for. Here we go. You vanish into your swarm and then teleport to an unoccupied space that you see within 30 feet of you, then reappear with a swarm. So, like, yeah, there's a potential there with bees, but imagine being a Disney princess with a murmur of like starlings, and it's all cute and funny, it's all cute and whatnot, and then the princess just phases into the birds and vanishes. Imagine about a ton of eagles. I think they have to be tiny. I think the base creature has to be tiny. Because the examples they give are insects, miniature twig blights, fluttering birds, or playful pixies. Swarm of gerbils. Oh my god, you just become the Rat King from TMNT. To me, my rats. And like the pile of rats just like falls to the ground. They are babies! Hunter, Horizon Walker, Gloomstalker, Fey Wanderer, Drake Warden, Unearthed Arcana. Beastmaster. Bingo! The real Steam gamer with the 13 months of Prime. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah. Ranger with a swarm of baby sea turtles. I think they have to like be able to move fast enough to be considered a swarm. Drake Warden fun? Let's see. Draconic Gift. You share a bond with your Drake creatures. Deep connection to Dragonkind, granting you understanding and empowering presence of the following benefits. If you can't already learn to speak, read, and write Draconic, you learn the Thaumaturgy cantrip, which is basically just like a little transmutation to make like little things happen. You get a Drake Companion, Bond of the Fang and Scale. Perfected Bond. The Drake grows to large size. I'm sorry. If the Drake is large, does that mean you can ride it? Interesting. Technically, yes. If you played a small creature to begin with, like a gnome or a goblin. You can't even if it's medium. Interesting. Does it grow to medium size? It starts off as small. Doesn't look like it grows to medium. I think it just goes from small to large. So you have to wait until 15th level in order to be able to ride it. Isn't there one that's like... No, I guess not. I think it's a druid thing, actually. I want to make a... I was trying to, like, figure out how to make, like a truly unique class in D&D. Not easy, by the way. So I was like, oh, man, maybe I'll make a geomancer class. And kind of already too late with the Circle of the Land druid. But these are guidelines, correct. Yeah, D&D does have a lot of bases covered. They do not, however, have two goblins in a trench coat. Circle of the Moon. I love the moon. What about 3 goblins in a trench coat? Counts as a large creature. Hi, bud. Why is it that you always take a drink and then shake? Hi, buddy. Give kiss. Do we want to pay the dog tax, buddy? Buddy, it's time to pay the dog tax. Oh, there he goes. Being good? Hi. Are you chewing on my ear? Easy, buddy. Easy, buddy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. He's not chonk, he's just floppy. He's actually pretty thin. But he's my baby. He's going to be a big boy, and I'm still gonna pick him up. You looking, Sebby? Give a kiss. What about a warlock bard who accidentally seduces their patron? Hey, maybe they'll get more power that way. Dog gets a little fluffy and everyone calls him a fatty. Yeah, he's a very fluffy dog. But, you know, a dog could be fluffy and also have very rough fur. He's fluffy and he's got very smooth fur. So he's very pleasant to the touch. There isn't a manatee emote yet because I haven't, like, really gotten around to commissioning one yet. Hundo Bits from Doom Knight saying, Tom, are you going to play D&D? If so, I teach kind of already knew, but I'm playing an Arcanum's game already. I will be learning how to DM though. That will be a an interesting go about it. I forgot that dinosaurs are in the basic rules for D&D.
Bingo!
Monster tags. Dinosaur. A lot of dinosaurs here. I'm in the great world of Glaeus, where Cokey is probably gonna die. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Put that up versus a Terrask. Always up during it versus a Terrask. Well, where'd you see zombie Tyrannosaurus? That's just a regular Tyrannosaurus. I don't know why a lot of its muscle tissue is exposed. You know, I'm kind of curious now. Did they add zombie dinosaurs? Yes, they did. There is a Tyrannosaurus zombie. It does not have an image, unfortunately. Disgorge zombie. What the hell does disgorge mean? Oh, it vomits another zombie. Yeah, as a bonus action, the Tyrannosaurus zombie can disgorge a normal zombie, which appears in an unoccupied space within 10 feet. The disgorged zombie acts on its own initiative. After a zombie is disgorged, roll a d6. On a 1, the Tyrannosaurus zombie runs out of zombies to disgorge and loses this trait. If the Tyrannosaurus zombie still has this trait when it dies, 1d4 normal zombies are up from its corpse at the start of the next turn. These zombies act on their own initiative count. Gross. What do we got for dragons? What's the toughest dragon? Is it Tiamat? No, it's Niv-Mizzet. I think Tiamat is considered a god or something like that. It's a monster. It's a Magic the Gathering one. Jesus Christ, I can cast a lot of stuff. Ancient Gold Dragon's the toughest, though. Next to an Ancient Red Dragon. Fortunately, Ancient Gold Dragons are lawful good, whereas Ancient Red Dragons are chaotic evil. Bahamas. "5e dragons suck, they're just flying bags of HP with a breath attack." Legendary resistance, amphibious. Breath weapons, weakening breath. They do have a lot of breath stuff. I have not read a lot of like the D&D stuff. But in terms of the campaign I want to run, it's mostly going to take place in this general area. It might get expanded if they decide to explore further. And I work better under pressure. So if they decide to just like skip what I have planned over here, then they might You chewing, buddy? It's chewing on a squeaky. Then I'm gonna have to come up with like some new stuff to do, like in the swamp and around the hills and up there, and eventually they might make it over to the plains and across the mountains. We'll have to see. The whole point of this world is for the players to explore. So we'll have to see what they want to do. I need to make more points of interest around this area anyway. I should really put some caves on this mountain region. Because right now there are none. With like a few bodies of water that extend. Like the source of this river is this lake right here. Does it connect to another? No. Yes? No. Kind of does. Ooh, that connects when it probably shouldn't. Maybe I'll change this particular area up to where there's a lot of like plateaus and crags and whatnot. That would make a good divider between the dry arid area and the grassy area. At a volcano? There's an island full of them right here. That was to work like that, then the river would have to branch off from this source and go over there. Let me remake this. I'm gonna remake this river. Let me paint in the... Is this desert or parchment? That's desert, okay. Okay, and then this. Maybe something like that for the river. I don't know if there should be a lake, though. Hang on. Do you recommend this website to other DMs that are building a world from scratch? I do. I paid for the subscription to it to get some of like the more advanced tools, but if you're trying to build a basic map, this can work out as well. Could let it loop back around to the ocean. That's not how rivers work, though. I mean, how common is it for a river to split into two? Like, if I was to... Because, like, a lot of these are coming from sources and converging. Normally, rivers converge. They don't split. Honestly, even the free version is pretty decent. Maybe I'll make another, like, water feature down here. Who caught the Kingdom Hearts run last night on SGDQ for the finale? Maybe like that. I mean, even an arid area like this would still have like sources of water, right? Caught the second half this morning. I caught the second half of it live. Still, there's some wild stuff in that run. I do want a river running through the desert. Unassociated with the song Rivers in the Desert. Seems strange that it would run north close to other rivers. That's what I was thinking too. I'm gonna fill in some stuff around here. Zaldin was the bane of my existence when I played that game casually. What are you doing? Having a little temper tantrum there, buddy? You know what I could do? Let me... How uncommon is it to have two rivers running out of the same source?
As of May 20th, 2014, Wi-Fi connection service for this software has been discontinued. Please visit our website for a list of current Wi-Fi
Nah. Very, the source needs to be on the continental divide. Few natural occurrences. I don't want to have too many natural occurrences. I already have a tropical climate here. You having any underground areas? Yeah, I currently have a couple caves placed. I need to put a few in the mountain range, though. Maybe there's like a lake at... Maybe I can put like a lake at the basin of this mountain. Some water like runs off and forms a lake here. If that's the case, I want to draw it a little bit better. Right there. I don't like the shape, though. There we go. Little bean lake in the middle of the desert. Or on the edge of the desert. It does look like a shoe print. Haha! Now it doesn't. Now, what does it look like? Very unnatural is what it looks like. There we go. Squidge up the bean a little bit. There we go. Stamps. What do we got for options for caves? Maybe make that a little bit smaller. I'll figure out where to place the... I'm not entirely sure where to place the caves. Here? I don't know. None of this was randomly generated? No, I drew all this. Shrink it! Shrink it! There we go. I definitely want this giant mountain to have at least one cave in it. Mirror. Oops. Mount what Everest? That's it. Well, that's a good one. Cave systems tend not to form in mountain ranges where the land is being smushed together, but this is D&D. That's pretty much what this mountain range is. I think it's worth it to buy the upgrade. If you're planning on playing the game actively, if you're planning on playing D&D actively, then I think it's worth it. It's also going to depend on how much you're willing to spend. I guess like how much money are you willing to put into the game? I guess is what you're saying. Part of the reason I went with it is because I'm getting a return out of it because I'm going to be streaming out of it, or because I'm going to be streaming it. I'm gonna remove the trees from this area. Because if I want it to be like if I want it to be more like craggy. I want it to be like the West. Like the Wild West. So maybe I should repaint over it with something. A little tree escaped my grasp. Make the brush bigger. What are you doing back there, bud? I could hear you. Why are you you haven't done that in so long. Why are you peeling up the carpet? Bud, it's not a scratching post, and you're not a cat. Hey! Yeah, you know what you're doing wrong. Oh, that's a little awkward. I flattened these trees against here, so now I can paint over them. Yeah, that's awkward. Is Manatee gonna be in the campaign? Probably not.
Bingo!
Half Crooked Grin with the 4 months of tier 1 saying, awkward. Here's a sub for your sub. Zio Wing Fan with 22 months of tier 1 saying, 22 months? Where does the time go? I know, right? Doom Knight 13 with 100 bits saying, or nope. Zelam Apple with the 28 months of, I already got that Doom that one. Zelam Apple with 28 months of Prime saying, 28 month-aroos. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah. Watch, I didn't know Arcade made videos on making a D&D setting. Hey! I think I want to change this. Yeah, so there's at least some...
Bingo!
Kind of blends into it a little bit. That gives me a little bit more space to work with the grasslands as well. Spoodfan 438 with the 12 months of tier 1. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah. Thank you for the emotes. Bud, hey. Stop flipping the rug up, buddy. We might have to call it soon because BP is reaching critical levels. All right. Stamps. I'm looking for... the maces might work. Not really looking for karsts. I swear I put this on shuffle, but it seems to be giving me like all the same stuff. Ooh, I don't want maces like that. Could you imagine just like... Yup, maces! Get your maces here! It actually kind of reminds me of that one area at the end of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Or like every fight area in Dragon Ball Z, pretty much. Yeah, where Ozai and Aang fought each other. Let's lower the density, up the area, and lower the size. Not by much, but enough. Because I wouldn't mind, like, this area with the rivers having a bunch of these maces around. And if it seems a little bit too geometrically perfect, I'm working on that. Don't like that. I will say, this program gets very laggy. Oh, there's one with the river flowing under. I'd plan on moving those.
That's why I believe in you.
Nordchico, Indus River Valley Civilization. There's one right here too. Maybe. Lower the density, increase the area. Lower the density even more.
They say I'm a fool.
Kind of have them... Okay, maybe that's a little bit too low in the density.
There's not much I can do. I'm gonna be this way my life through.
Now, the mesas shouldn't be touching the desert. That's just wrong. No, no, no. No touching the desert for the mesas. Why not? Wait, that occurs naturally? Alright, I can touch. Get me a geographer! Who are you and how'd you get in here? I'm a blacksmith, and I'm a blacksmith. Super Mario RPG. Legend of Lolo Sonic 3. Oh, I didn't go to it immediately. The desert's all... Ah! Touch my mesa! Mesas come from erosion, from wind, water, you name it. Oh. So maybe it'd be a good idea to have some of the mesas on the outside of this be smaller. Harvest Moon. Bingo! Oh, Jungle and Panic on Funkotron. Da, 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 da. Castlevania 1, Castlevania 2. Oh, Ninja Gaiden. Cruising USA. Ah! 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 Oh, hold on. We need some Wii Shop Wednesday.
So what we'll do is we'll write a theme song for the Wii Shopping channel.
I don't care, it's Sunday. It's Wii Shop Wednesday.
You can sing to the titles of the Super Mario RPG, Super Mario 3, Mega Man, Neo, Turf Masters, Break-In, Star... You know what I mean, Jared?
Yeah.
Like every... Star... You say the lyrics of the...
So Metallica, the band, the show.
Let me try.
Super Mario RPG, Sonic the Hedgehog, Donkey Kong 3, Adventures of Lolo 1 and 2,
King's Knight, Dig
Dug,
Juman Fu.
Harvest Moon.
Did you write this song?
Link Puzzle Pokemon. Toe Jam and Earl in Panic on Funkotron.
Castlevania, Fatal Fury, Ninja Chuchu, Mario Comet, Razor Blazing, Lasers, Bases Loaded, Mega Turrican, Cybernator, Rolling Thunder, Dynastic Hero, Bubble Bobble, Double Dribble, Double Dragon, F-Zero.
I get it. You memorized the song.
F-Zero X. And Donkey Kong Jr. Math. Ninja Gaiden 1. Ninja Gaiden 2. Ninja Gaiden 3. Cruising USA.
No!
But yeah. Ba-da-ba-ba. I don't know, was this Mesa placement good? Heavy Bear, thank you for the raid. Here come them countermeasures. Hey boop. Villager Shy Guy War. Looks good to me. Maybe I'll up the density, reduce the size, and kind of make a little bit of him coming up around here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just like Donatello imitating the punching clown in Secret of the Ooze. Yeah. This has been my introduction to your channel. Excellent. Well, thank you, a nerdy salesman. Hope you're enjoying. Big Puzzle Pokemon. Toe Jam and Earl on Panic on Funkotron. Alright, I need some dunes for the desert. We watched that during movie night 2 nights ago. Ninja Gaiden 1, Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden 3. Cruising USA. If you need a good introduction to Tom, I highly recommend his Pikmin series. Oh, that's... Man! How about Custom Smash? Yeah, in my Discord. It's for tier 2 and above subs and $10 plus patrons on Patreon. Now, where are the dunes? Show me the dunes! Is the scale of these dunes good? Think it should be a little bigger? Smaller? Send to dunes. Bigger since it's a big old desert. I figured like some of these dunes would be gigantic. So I think I need to turn the density down, the area up, and the size up. Hopefully if I undo this, what I just drew. Ask us to send dunes. Are you in a dry spell? Bravo! Bravo! Oh, for God's sake! It undid me changing the settings on the dunes. I'm gonna need a bit more density than that. Well, now these just seem too big. I think they need to be more dense as well. Ashley. Gonna give DMing a try? Yeah, buddy.
And if you say no, you're toast.
What do you got there, bud? What are you playing with? I look over and he's got the most deranged face while his bone is in his mouth. Some of these cave entrances in the mountains could be blocked off by dunes. JMKVO with the 17 months of Prime saying, "Hey Tom, sorry I haven't been to many of your streams lately. I've been busy with summer classes and my part-time job, but I finally made it to one again. Thank you very much." And hey, no worries, dude. Life comes first. Here's a sub for your sub. Mwah.
You better learn my name, 'cause it's Ashley.
Just remember this when you see her on the street.
I'm the coolest girl you'll ever meet.
Damn river dunes.
Girl you'll ever meet. I'm the coolest girl you'll ever meet.
Damn river dunes. They ruined the movie Dune. So we're making the Dune Sea from Tatooine. Ah, perhaps. Yeah, boy. There we go. Sometimes when you draw a lot, I should probably save. Sand is everywhere. Get used to it. Yeah. Yeah. Na, 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 na. Hey, bud, I'm almost done. Don't worry. I'm just painting some sand. Wow, the painted desert. Oh, I didn't want to reduce the size. There we go. Oh, okay, that increases and decreases it by like 5 every time I hit it. Oh, the Cloud Sea! Oh, I can't wait! And another one. Torah! Torah right here! Meh! Dude. That was a noise. Meh! Torah doesn't like the sandy sand! Gets all caught in Torah's fur. A vote for Torah's a vote for tasty sausage in every home. Vote for Torah. Because Torah right here. Who is Torah from Xenoblade Chronicles 2? Okay. Map feels a little bit more lively now. Torah Ricky? I can do a better Torah impression. Here Ricky go! Crash pow! Ricky, leave that one for Dun Dun. I still, one of my favorite ones to do, just because like it's a little bit challenging to do the yawn. For Torah is Torah dream of tasty sausage the size of Poppy! Meh, off we go! I'm a simple nerd. I see D&D workshopping, I click. Thank you.
Bingo!
Grady Dose with the Prime sub, his sub for your sub. Mwah. Grady Dose, huh? Hey, we wouldn't happen to be related, would we? I know my brother's Twitch account. I know one of my cousin's Twitch account. I know two of my cousins' Twitch accounts. Mind you. Possibly a relative of mine that broke the O off from their name when they came through to Ellis Island. Probably not. What program is this? This is a website called Incarnate. Incarnate with a K instead of a C. Hey, Dan. Dan, this is the world I'm creating. The lost continent of Nasentia. Also, applause for Dan. Because he's editing my Saints Row 2 Let's Play. And I've also forced extra work upon him for something that's coming up in later Saints Row episodes. Is this some kind of... I swear, this is a Rorschach test. Oh, man. Guys, I don't know how to tell you this, but because I'm going through all of Carlos's uploads on Shuffle, I just came across a little babu, Carlos. March 2nd, 2013. Not when he was 10, no. That was in 2019 when 10 years ago he was 10, right? So he'd be 14 in this video. And the best part is, There's absolutely no names to any of these things. I might have like project names for them, but there are absolutely no official names for any of these locations because they're all going to be named by the players. All of them. Basically, the players will either, depending on their actions on the ship, they'll either shipwreck here or get here safely on their boat, and then proceed to explore the world. Because the entire continent is surrounded by what is referred to as the storm wall, where you can't. It's where you could possibly get to it by going over it, but you have to go really high. Hard to go through it because it's a giant storm. And you can't go below it because the storm wall is causing the sea currents to go nuts. But there's no, in order to give the, you know what? I was thinking that maybe like the drive to escape a cataclysm would be the driving force to get them off the island and come here. But I don't think I have to go that ham. They could be on an expedition. I just need to think of a reason for the expedition. I currently have no players in this game. Yo, dog, I hear you like adventures. New America. No, the continent already has a name. It's called an Essentia. Knowledge for knowledge's sake? There are some intelligent creatures on here, just nothing that resembles like a full civilization. Yeah, maybe I do need to go that ham since I can't think of anything else. Mithril and platinum. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Man, this does not want to play. How about we play my favorite song? My new favorite song in Super Smash Brothers. Hold on, let's get to a proper locale. Perfect. Mountains! Wesker! What a song this is. Watching your content for years. Love the content you create. Thank you, Grady Dose. Might need to extend the forests out a little bit. There's a reason why there's such a concentration of trees in this area. Ooh, that's a little too concentrated. Buddy, if you're looking for concentrations of trees, I got you covered. I think that might be a little bit too concentrated as well. If I undo, is it going to put the density back to what I had it at before? I want to know where they got the singer for this song. God, this is such a wild song. It's chugging? Yeah, when you put as many assets on this as I did, it's gonna chug. I probably could flatten it, but then I wouldn't be able to edit those things anymore. I'd have to paint over them and then start again. What program is this? This is a this is a browser-based program called Incarnate. Incarnate with a K, basically. All right, let's turn the density down. All right. What else do we got? What else do we got? What song should we play next? Battle Torna? I like that song. I'm playing it. All right. Always remember to never touch Verp. Because Verp doesn't like to be touched. Don't touch me! Love that little guy. Manatee? He probably has to go out. I'm probably gonna have to end the stream here. But still, we got a lot of work done on this, and I have some more ideas now. So thank you for joining me on this chat, and I'm gonna have hopefully within the next few weeks to a month, maybe, I'll have a campaign ready to go. So who's live right now? I'm almost done, bud. Don't worry. Oh, this is a good person that we can raid. What should our raid message be? Two goblins in a trench coat. Yes. And we are going to raid Josh Jepson, who's currently doing a subathon through Pokemon Coliseum. So give him some of that Tommy's love and maybe drop a few subs to make that stream longer. And I'll see you all next time, which will be on Tuesday, unless you go to Arcanum's channel tomorrow at noon Central Time, in which case, we're playing some more Ink and Blood as Cokey. See you all then. Later.